Thanks for coming to the channel, Flave Media. In today's tech news, Apple's MacBook Pro is a dismal disappointment. A new chip in a lackluster but perfect fine laptop. Let's get into the details. So on the scale of 1 to 10, this is a lackluster performance of the MacBook Pro 13-inch. Good performance, battery life, compact, lightweight, increased memory options, but the tired same old thing. 720p webcam, no MagSafe, includes a touch bar, which we know we can't stand the touch bar, and can't support more than one external display. This 13-inch laptop, which was felt like a powerhouse despite its small size, now feels aimless. Apple didn't give it upgrades and introduced it last year's high-end MacBook Pro models, such as the sleeker design 1080p webcam, slimmer bezels around the display, and a MagSafe charger. Weirdly, many of these changes made it to the brand new and cheaper MacBook Air. So if you're really desperate for a MacBook Pro, you might as well go with the Air with the 1080p webcam, which is also powered by the same M2 processor inside the 13-inch MacBook Pro. What's up with that? I don't know.
What's up with it?
It is a perplexing addition to the MacBook lineup. Yes, the new 13-inch MacBook Pro works just fine. Its performance is great and battery life is reliable. The butterfly keys that caused so many problems are long gone. Thank you. We don't want to hear about the butterfly key mechanism ever again.
Apple, do not bring this back.
It's the only MacBook in the entire lineup that keeps the touch bar, if you like that. But for $12.99, I think it's fair to expect more from Apple, an upcycle approach. The running joke on the internet is that Apple has too many MacBook Pro models, 2020 models, lying around, so it swapped out the M1 processor for the new M2 chip and called it a day. Would not be surprised this was actually the case. The two are almost identical. It has the exact same chassis, complete with a 13-inch LCD display, a 720p webcam, a Touch ID sensor, the infamous touch bar, two Thunderbolt USB 4 ports, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Just about the only difference is the added support for high impedance headphones and the audio jack, so you can get a bit more fidelity out of the cans. The biggest upgrade isn't visible to the naked eye. The M2 chip, a success to the M1, the M2 comes with an 8-core GPU, 10-core GPU, two more than its predecessors, giving it a boost in graphics and performance. Apple also increased its memory capacity to 24 gigs up from 16. This will cost you an extra $400. But if you're buying the 13-inch Pro, you may as well bump the RAM up to a max. Makes sense. Here's the thing, if you don't upgrade to the MacBook Pro, you can get similar performance with the up-and-coming MacBook Air, releasing hopefully within the next 6 to 8 months for less money. Plus all those perks like a 1080p webcam, quad speakers. If you max out the MacBook Pro's RAM, it'll cost $16.99. Spend $300 more and you get the base 14-inch MacBook Pro plus all of its upgrades like the richer variety of ports. The M2 might sound like it's but it's a base level chip next to the M1 Pro, M1 Max, and the M1 Ultra, powering the $2,000 plus MacBook Pro models. It's easy to be swayed by Apple stats. It's always easier to be swayed by the Apple stats, which boosts the M2 processor, has a 35% more powerful GPU, 18% faster GPU, and 40% faster neural engine compared to the M1. But it's not quite enough for most professionals who require more computing power. The M2, just like the M1, still only supports one external monitor. All of this isn't to say the 13-inch MacBook Pro isn't completely unusable for heavy-duty tasks, but it likely won't be enough for anyone who regularly deals with process intense workload. So if you're that person that has a real process intense workload, the MacBook Pro 13-inch might not be no good to you. If that's you, I think it's worth saving your cash and going to the base version of the 14-inch MacBook Pro instead. If you just need a good new laptop, wait for the upcoming MacBook Air. You get a slightly larger, more modern looking screen, a better webcam, nicer speakers, and a fast charging support. All in all, overall lighter package and fun colors. So if you're into the retro colors, this MacBook Pro remains an awkward middle child and doesn't bring nearly enough to the table to be worth your while. So what do you think about the 13-inch MacBook Pro? Leave your comments in the description below. Make sure you click the like and subscribe, and we'll see you again. Thanks.